At first glance, the confusion makes sense. They fly. They have wings. They rule the night sky. But beneath those wings lies a completely different blueprint of life. To understand why bats are not birds, we need to look deeper beyond flight, into anatomy, biology, and evolution itself. To understand why bats are not birds, we also must first understand what a bird truly is. Birds belong to a group of animals defined by a few key features: feathers, beaks, egg-laying reproduction, lightweight skeletons designed for flight. Every bird, from the smallest hummingbird to the largest eagle, shares these traits. Feathers are especially important. They are not just for flight, but for insulation, display, and survival. And here's the key: no bird exists without feathers. Now, let's look at bats. Bats belong to a completely different class of animals: mammals. Just like humans, just like dogs, just like whales. And mammals follow a different set of rules. They have hair or fur. They give birth to live young. They produce milk to feed their babies. And bats check every one of these boxes, which means before we even talk about wings, bats are already fundamentally different from birds. At a distance, a bat's wing may look like a bird's wing, but up close, the truth becomes obvious. Bird wings are built from feathers attached to a modified arm, but bat wings? They are something entirely different. A bat's wing is actually a stretched membrane of skin pulled across elongated fingers. Yes, fingers. What looks like a wing is actually a hand transformed for flight. Each movement is controlled with incredible precision, allowing bats to twist, turn, and maneuver far more sharply than most birds. So while birds fly using feathers, bats fly using their hands. Birds lay eggs, every single one. From tiny sparrows to giant ostriches, their young develop outside the body. But bats? Bats give birth, live birth, and after birth, something even more defining happens. The mother feeds her baby with milk, just like any other mammal. This alone places bats in a completely separate biological category from birds, because no bird has ever produced milk. Birds are built for flight efficiency. Their bones are hollow, lightweight, optimized to reduce energy use in the air. Bats are different. Their bones are denser, more similar to land mammals. They are not built from the same evolutionary design. Even their shoulders, spine, and chest structure tell a different story. Flight may look similar on the outside, but internally, these are two completely different animals. Most birds rely on vision, sharp eyesight, powerful focus, daylight precision. But bats? They mastered something else entirely: echolocation. In complete darkness, bats emit high-frequency sounds and listen to the echoes that bounce back. This allows them to detect insects mid-air, avoid obstacles, navigate with extreme accuracy. They don't just fly in the dark, they see with sound. Very few birds possess anything close to this ability. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. Birds and bats did not come from the same flying ancestor. They evolved flight independently. Birds evolved from dinosaurs. Bats evolved from land mammals. Two completely separate paths leading to the same ability: flight. This is known as convergent evolution, when different creatures develop similar traits, not because they are related, but because they face similar challenges. Flight was one of those challenges. Birds are mostly active during the day. Bats dominate the night. Birds build nests. Bats roost, often hanging upside down in caves, trees, or structures. Birds use sight to hunt. Bats use sound. Even their social behaviors differ, with some bat colonies numbering in the millions. So why do people still confuse bats with birds? Because flight is powerful. It overrides perception. When we see something flying, our brain quickly categorizes it. But nature doesn't follow our assumptions. Just because two animals can fly doesn't mean they are the same. Bats are not birds. They never were. They are mammals. They don't just challenge what we see. They challenge how we think about life itself. Because sometimes the biggest differences are hidden beneath what looks the same.